Hey guys, this is a video explaining essentially what my instructional style is and how I approach assignments and grading. The idea is that it should make it easier for you to understand how I work. So the first thing I want to talk about is late assignments. Essentially, if you submit your assignment on time, you might get all of the credit if everything's in there. But then, if it's late for up to the first week, after the due date, you get 90% of credit for each assignment, and after that first week, you would get no credit because we should move on to whatever's next. Now, the big exception to this is peer feedback and supportive posts that you make in discussions. And those would get, instead of 90%, just 50% of the credit if they are within that first week after the due date. And the reason for that is that that kind of posts have to be timely so that they can be useful, right? If you're not posting on time to discussions, then you're not really participating in the discussion, and if you're not providing feedback on time, then you're not really helping your classmates with your feedback all that much. So, other exceptions, I'm open to being flexible with you. I know that life happens and that we are all busy people. And so, if you request an extension and if you do it especially before the deadline, I'm likely to make an accommodation for you, right? So, if there's something going on, please let me know. Communication in this case is very useful, and as I said, especially if you talk to me before the assignment is due, I'm likely to give you an extension to help you out somehow. Now, your reasons have to be valid reasons, right? It can be, that it's just not convenient for you. When something in your life, in your work, or something like that happens, that's when you let me know, and we can make an adjustment. Now, this also applies for when you have major events, major things going on that are planned in advance, like you're having travel or you have, something that's coming up for work that it's going to take a lot of your time, or you have health issues like a planned surgery or something like that that's going to be affecting your timeliness or your performance in the course, but it's coming. And so you can tell me, ahead of that, maybe even, way ahead of it happening, so that we can make plans and sort of work around the way that the structure of the course is set up, and we can make it so that you can submit everything and get all the points. Now, there's also the issue of, what time are you supposed to be submitting stuff? And basically, the main idea, the way we work, it's supposed to be 11:59 p.m. at the latest, the day that things are due. But as a way of being considerate to people living in different time zones, what I do is that as long as it is posted by 8 a.m. on the day after the due date, then I still consider it on time. So if it's 8:01 a.m., it is late, but as long as it is 8 a.m. Eastern time on the day after the due date, it's still on time as far as I'm concerned. This is very basic stuff, and I know that you already know it, but make sure that you read all of the instructions. The list of actions that you have for each of the to-dos, make sure that you complete each and every one of them. If there's something missing from your assignment because you missed a part of the instructions, then you're not gonna get those points because I can't grade what isn't there. Importantly, this applies very much to drafts. When you're making a draft of your final project, those are meant to be close to finished. They should have all the sections required. And essentially, the idea is that the draft is for you to get suggestions for improvement and feedback. So everything should be there, even though not in its final form. And that pretty much applies for every course for Project Dragonfly. We always expect drafts to be very complete and almost finished. One other thing, there's a difference between getting an A plus and an A, and that basically for a graduate course like this one, should be the A plus is for exceptional work. And exceptional means that it goes beyond the minimum requirements, right? You maybe completed everything that was required, but it's not exceptional unless it goes beyond that with creativity or additional effort or just really good quality, really good insights. So you have to go beyond the minimum requirements to get an A plus. And that's also the difference between getting 100 and 95 points in an assignment. 95 would be closer to an A, and 100 is A plus, right? Or getting 200 points instead of 190. And that's the way I'm going to be grading most of your assignments. Big exception, of course, is your drafts for projects, because those, it is a draft after all. And although we expect it to be complete, there's also a certain expectation that there may be things you're still working on, and maybe there are some mistakes that you're going to fix, and that's the whole point of a draft. So that one doesn't have to be that perfect, and you can get all of the points even if it's not in its final form. Now, if you have questions about your grades, you can always email me, right? But now we also have Canvas, and it's a slightly different platform, but it does have some advantages. One of them is that you can also use this little comment box in Canvas to comment on specific grades that you obtained, and I get a notification telling me that you did, and then I would respond to those through that same platform. So you can try that out if you have questions about your grades. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you in the workshops. Bye.